Okay, so Brennan Othmann could be traded. This per a report from Elliot Friedman, and I don't even know how we got here, man. This is somebody that was taken in the first round. I think a lot of us were really excited to see him play. Whenever he made his way to the Rangers, it wasn't going to happen right away. But one of those players that has that combination of skill and snarl that, obviously made him attractive to a lot of teams and ultimately made him a first-round draft pick. I mean, if the Rangers didn't take him when they did, somebody else probably would have in the first round. I don't think it was like a massive reach by the Rangers or anything like that, but it just hasn't worked out. Just hasn't done enough with the Wolfpack, hasn't done enough with the Rangers themselves when he's been up with them. What does he have, like no goals and 2 assists in like 25 games, 28 NHL games, whatever it is. And, you can go through the list of reasons, and there's some truth to all of them. First of all, being that he hasn't had power play time, or he hasn't had the right line mates, or not enough ice time in general. And there's elements of truth to all that. But if you're a big-time, top-notch prospect, you succeed in spite of that, and you kick the door down, and you basically force them to give you a more prominent role in the lineup. And obviously, Othmann hasn't been able to do that. So we'll see. We'll keep our eye on it. I mean, nothing has happened yet. We'll see what ultimately ends up happening with Brennan Othmann. But the other person involved in this that I think comes out of it, as kind of a loser of this whole situation is definitely Chris Drury. When you look at that draft class, it's not good at all. And Brennan Othmann is the first player that Chris Drury ever took as the Rangers GM. He was assistant GM in there for a little while and probably had at least something of a voice. But this is the first time where, he was captain of the ship, so to speak. This was his guy. This was his pick. And it hasn't worked out. And barring something very unexpected, it's beginning to look more and more like it's not going to work out, at least not with the New York Rangers. And the rest of that draft class isn't really a whole lot better either. So not good for Drury either. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll see what happens. Let's go Rangers.